Assalamualaikum and good morning to all guests and attendees. I am glad to have you joining our forum for this week, alongside with my panel members. Today we are here to discuss the topic of teen suicide and explore different viewpoints for better understanding. The rise of suicide cases is already worrying, but when it affects the life of teenagers, the topic takes on a different tone and requires different approaches to get the depth of the issue. I am certain that opinions, range, and viewpoints vary, so we have invited panel's members on different backgrounds to share their insights. Before we proceed, let's introduce our panel's members.
Thank you to our lovely moderator. I'm Dr. Shahira, Psychiatrist from Hospital Aman.
Hi, I'm Nur Aina. I'm student nurse from UniKL RCMP.
Hi and good morning. I am Beatrice. I'm a mother.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I'm Adriana, teacher from secondary school.
Thank you once again to all of our panelists for gracing our forum today. Before we finally proceed and start, I would like to explain a little bit on the matter discussed today. Teen suicide is beyond a personal issue. When a young person chooses to leave the world due to the mistreatment of adults around them, it begs a question regarding the validity behind the decision to do so. In Malaysia, the topic of suicide is heavily stigmatized. Mental health is an ever-present issue that receives little attention despite it being the suspect driving force behind teen suicide. Today, we are going to talk about how teen suicide may or may not be due to mental health issues and what could be the causes and consequences. So,
Round 1.
let's start with the doctor.
Thank you. So, Assalamualaikum and good morning. I bid to all of you. I'm Dr. Shahira, Psychiatrist from Hospital Aman. Recently, our country has been facing a lot of change on suicide rate which is increasing every year. Mental health issues is our country have always been taken lightly by individual which one of the causes of for all this happen. Before we go deeper to our topic for today, which is teen suicide, I will talk about mental health issue first. Mental illness, also called mood, thinking, and behavior. Example of mental illness included depression or stress that may lead suicidal among teenagers. Why am I including these issues? It is very close related because of teen years. Why am I including these issues? It is very closely related because teen years are a very stressful time. They are filled with major change. These include body change, change in thought, and change in feelings. Strong feelings of stress, confusion, fear, and doubt may influence a teen's problem solving and decision making to suicide. Before attempting to take his own life, a teen may have thought of wanting to die. This is called suicidal ideation. He or she may also have suicidal behavior. That's why a teen is focused on doing things that cost his or her own health. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's hear the opinion from the mother beside.
Hi and good morning. I'm Beatrice. I'm a mother. When talking about the things that are given attention during raising a teenagers, usually parents place a greater focus on success and academic performance. When discussing the issues that receive attention while raising teenagers, it are confident that this indirectly contributes to a rise in a mental health problems. In order to develop teenagers who are competitive in the future and stronger and more emotional, resilient, hard to give up, and smart to deal with with issue, this component has to receive specific attention. The role, attention, and sensitivity of parents is very important in raising emotional strong children. Teenagers with a strong spirit can adapt in difficult situations. Teenagers are also able to recover from failures or traumatic experience.
Thank you for your opinion. So now let's hear from the student side.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, good morning, and greetings to all. I'm Nur Aina, student from UniKL RCMP. So regarding this big topic that really popular amongst my age, which is suicide, I'm going to explain the reason of why this thing happened. As student, a lot of stressing factors can occur. It can be cause of stress on studying, loads of assignment, financial, family, or maybe problems among friends. To be honest, this thing can be solved by time if it is handled properly. But some of us didn't have a support system or listener. Disease can even be worsen the problem. They can even develop a mental illness which drives suicide to happen. But sadly, nowadays, grown adults didn't even understand this young age problem. They only tend to think about we crave for attention we should get actually. They don't even care about what we say, what we act. They always say that we are playing too much or being in love the reason why we're stressing out, while they didn't know that they are the main reason. That's all my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you for your opinion. So now let's move on to our teacher.
So, hi, I'm Adriana, a teacher from secondary school. From my side, the risk of suicide among school student is more worrying when teenagers at a young age now heavily influence and dare to threaten themselves to the point of causing death. Because of problem related to family, friendship, romance, or failing in studies. Other than that, suicide also often comes from students who have family problems. This proof that students who intend to kill themselves actually went to attract the attention of their families. This problem can only be solved if parents pay close attention to their children from childhood and always share their problems with them. Therefore, the cause that causes students to commit suicides is failure in relationship and also studies. When a student faces several times of failure in relationships, with friends or failure with studies, they will feel that their own life have failed, which that they will not like themselves because the failure of life itself will cause them to have the desire to kill themselves. So that's all for me.
Thank you. I would like to thank to all the panelist members. So now let's move on to round 2.
Round 2.
So now let's start with our doctor again.
As a psychiatrist, I will suggest to meet a counselor. They can learn skill to manage emotion more effectively. In other ways, to person who have the urge to attempt a suicide, they can call helpline center in Google. This helpline center offer free and confidential emotional support to anyone feeling distressed, depressed, or suicidal, and it's more safer. That's all for me.
Thank you, doctor. So now let's move on to our mother.
Thank you. According to my research from Dr. Rajini, it is proven that strong soul and minds play an important role in helping teenagers face the challenges of life in the future. One of the way they complete the requirements is through model 7C, which is competence, confidence, connection, character, contribution, coping, and control. That's all from me.
Thank you. So now let's move on to our students' opinions. Let's hear it.
So I agree that whenever we have a problems, we can go and meet the counselor. But much things happen make a student have lesser trust in counselor. So we choose to keep it to ourselves rather than let it go to someone. We tend to ask our parents to bring us to clinic to seek for treatments whenever we feel like something problem with ourselves. But they tend to ignore us and keep saying it is not necessary and we just being childish while we are really sick. So if anything happened to their children, they will blame others for not being nice to their daughter. So that's for me. Thank you.
Thank you for our students. Now let's hear from the teachers.
So I'm as a teacher, I'm also agree. One of the way to deal with the issue of suicide among students is to conduct psychological treatment. Students should see a psychologist and counseling teacher when experiencing stress or problem that cannot be resolved. These professionals can give advice and also treatment to students so that the student can find a way to solve their problem. And the next way to deal with suicidal issue is to connect with someone you can trust. Students can express their feeling to trusted family member, friend, teachers to talk about the problem they are facing. They should find someone who can listen and who can give advice and motivation. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. All of us are very delighted to hear many opinions from various sides. So I would like to give a big round of applause for all the panel's members for such an informative talk. So now it's the time for Q&A session. So I have two questions. So anyone who would like to answer can raise your hand. So the first question is, teenagers is very easily get emotions because they have enough age to feel it. What is the important role in helping teenagers face the challenges according to Dr. Rajimi? So anyone who would like to answer?
I would like to answer from my question. The answer is competence, confidence, connection, character, contribution, coping and control.
Okay, for the next questions, I especially want to ask the students because we all want to know what can make a student stress.
So as a student, I think what can make a student stress is about love, about family, about relationship in school, about being in friendship. That's all for me.
Thank you. Okay, this is the end for this session. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the panels and the students for sharing their knowledge. And now I'm gonna let all our invited panels and students to share their words for the last session with us today. So, do you have anything to say?
Thank you for inviting me for this forum.
Okay.
And thank you for inviting me too, and let me share my experience.
Let's hear from our mothers.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's all from us.